why men go silent instead of explaining their pain. Why does the man who talks about everything else suddenly go silent when he is hurting? Why does he go quiet exactly when you need him to speak? Why does he say, "I'm fine," when everything in his face says he is not? That silence is not empty. It is full of pressure, full of fear, full of words he was never taught how to say. Sometimes a man's silence is not the absence of emotion. Sometimes it is emotion with nowhere trained to go. A man comes home after a difficult day. Maybe something happened at work. Maybe his father said something that reopened an old wound. Maybe a friend betrayed him. Maybe life simply felt heavier than usual. His partner looks at him and asks, "What's wrong?" And he says, "Nothing." He sits on the couch, scrolling through his phone, but he is not really seeing anything. She asks again. He shrugs. "I'm just tired." But later that night, while everyone else is asleep, he lies awake, staring at the ceiling, replaying the moment again and again, thinking about what he could have said, what he should have said, what he wishes someone would understand without him having to explain it. But the words never come out. So in the morning, he acts like nothing happened, except something did happen. It just went underground. This is not always coldness. This is often a man carrying weight he was never taught to put down in words. Psychology explanation from childhood. Many boys are taught quiet lessons without anyone realizing how deeply those lessons will stay. Don't cry. Be strong. Stop being sensitive. Handle it yourself. Man up. Over time, a boy can grow into a man who feels deeply but does not know how to explain what he feels. Psychologists sometimes call this normative male alexithymia. That sounds complicated, but the meaning is simple. Some men are not emotionless. They just never learn the language of their own emotions. They may feel sadness as anger, fear as distance, stress as silence, pain as exhaustion. And when emotions become too much, the nervous system can also shut down. This is often called stonewalling. It is not always a planned decision to ignore someone. Sometimes the body feels emotionally threatened, the heart rate rises, the mind gets overwhelmed, and withdrawal becomes a survival response. So he goes quiet. Not because nothing is happening inside him, but because too much is happening inside him. And underneath that silence, there is often fear. Fear of looking weak. Fear of becoming a burden. Fear of being judged. Fear that if he says the pain out loud, it will become too real to control. So he stays silent. Because silence feels safer than exposure. Deep emotional truth here is the truth most people feel but cannot always say. Silence is often the loudest cry for help a man knows how to make. He may not be shutting you out because he does not care. He may be shutting down because somewhere along the way he learned that his pain was inconvenient. Inconvenient to others, and eventually inconvenient to himself. So he buries it. He tells himself it is not a big deal. He says, "I'll be okay." He distracts himself. He works harder. He laughs it off. He keeps moving. But pain buried alive does not die. It waits. It leaks out sideways, in irritability, in distance, in sudden anger, in emotional numbness, in exhaustion that has no name. And maybe the hardest part is this: many men do not even know they are hurting. They just know something feels heavy. And heavy is easier to hide than to explain. But silence has a cost. Because the people who love him may start feeling rejected. His partner may start feeling alone. His family may start feeling shut out. And he may start believing that nobody understands him, even though he never gave anyone the words to try. Of course, silence should never become an excuse to punish, ignore, or emotionally abandon someone. Pain explains the silence, but it does not make distance harmless. Healing begins when silence stops being the only language. Practical lesson healing does not always begin with a perfect conversation. Sometimes it begins with one honest sentence. I don't know how to say this, but something is wrong. That sentence may sound small, but for a man who has spent his whole life hiding his pain, that sentence is brave. It is not weakness. It is emotional courage. If you are the person waiting on the other side of his silence, patience matters, but so does your own peace. You can care about someone without losing yourself trying to decode them. You can hold space without carrying everything for them. You can say, I'm here when you're ready to talk, but I also need honesty, not distance. And if you are the man who goes quiet when life hurts, start small. You do not need the perfect words. You just need one honest one. Say, I'm overwhelmed. I'm hurt. I don't know what I feel yet. I need a moment, but I don't want to shut you out. That is where emotional maturity begins. Not in never struggling, but in learning to say, I'm struggling, before the silence says it for you. Because real strength was never about staying silent. It was never about pretending pain does not exist. Real strength is being honest enough to be understood and brave enough to let someone see what you have been carrying alone.